Yup. Right back at another video, man. Hey, man, we got Jimmy Hyro. What Luka just did is unbelievable. I ain't gonna lie, I just finished watching the highlights and all that, so I'm right back at another one, man. But look, though, y'all know we came here to do, man. Y'all know we didn't come here to do, man. We came here to get straight to the point. What we didn't come to do, man, is all that other stuff, man. With that being said, man, let's get right to the video.
In hard-fought games, the LA Clippers finally defeat Luka and the Dallas Mavericks, once again bouncing them out of the first round of the playoffs. And although the Mavs still have a lot of work to do before they contend for a title, their future is bright.
It is,
all
no
thanks
cap.
to this guy. Because what we just saw from Luka Doncic was nothing short of spectacular. Game after game, this kid was giving two of the league's best perimeter defenders absolute nightmares, averaging, are you ready for this? 36 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds a game on 41% shooting from three.
I mean, but them two defenders, they did get. Don't forget, they did get who shot that shot? They did get gamed by Jason Tatum, both of them, literally on one person. Jason Tatum gamed both of them. So, hey, you can't forget that part either. You know what I'm saying? You cannot forget that part either. You know, let me lock you in.
With his seemingly half-speed, herky-jerky wizardry, Luka put up these all-time, all-world,
he ain't had no help though.
Type numbers. We are watching this young man build a legacy right in front of our eyes, doing things that only a few players before him have accomplished, and even crazier, he's making it look easy in the process. As much as fans like to pick on them, this Clippers team is no joke. And here's Luka taking his time to methodically pick them apart, play after play. And all of this got me thinking, is Luka Doncic the best 22-year-old basketball player ever? I mean, of course this wouldn't make him the GOAT, just the GTTYOOAT. A claim like this is pretty bold. So last week on the Bill Simmons
I don't know.
Bill mentioned the fact that he truly cannot recall another 22-year-old that was this great, ever.
Luka Doncic he's 22 years old. I think from a hoops IQ combined with presence / talent / just ability to dissect the other team, he's the most advanced I've ever seen. The fact that he's doing this at the age he's at, with the lack of reps that he has, this was his 8th playoff game ever. Leonard and George had 2 really good offensive games. And they don't really know what they're going to get from everyone else in the team. This is an unbelievable subplot with them, where they win 1 playoff series last year. This year, they tanked the last couple games so they could play Dallas and get out of the Lakers division. And meanwhile, they willingly chose to go against Luka, who's the best 22-year-old basketball player of all time.
Hey, they went to 7. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm just going to say it. I can't. Yeah, maybe Magic. God, I have to think about this. All right. I'm going to recant. He's in the running for best 22-year-old basketball player ever. Certainly the most accomplished, certainly the most statistically accomplished. And the Clippers were like, that's the guy we want. Well, that was really dumb.
The highest
Luka took them a long 7.
Who's just about seen it all. But there is a long and vast history of players excelling the minute they stepped into the league. Magic Johnson had one of the greatest finals performances in NBA history on his way to winning a championship at just 20 years old. At just 20
D-Rose, what about D-Rose?
Shaquille O'Neal averaged 29 and 13 and was already a top 10 player in the league. LeBron dragged the Cavaliers to the finals at just 22 years old. Kobe had already made 2 All-Star teams and was an NBA champion before he even turned 22. And Devin Booker dropped 70 points in an NBA game
D-Rose?
when he was just 20. So, all things considered, where does Luka Doncic rank?
D-Rose was the youngest MVP of all time. You just gonna say fuck D-Rose and what he stands for?
The
Okay.
greatest 22-year-olds to ever do it. Well, it's tough to narrow down and quantify qualities that make a player great. Scoring, passing, defense, leadership, IQ, composure. What matters the most, and how can you take a player's entire game and compare it to another player's? Oftentimes from different eras, playing different positions. Well, I think I've got a solid way of going about this. Similar to other ranking videos I've done in the past, we will be finding the best 22-year-old in league history by using these 7 categories. Now, we all know that there is no perfect stat, but the combination of a few good stats will give us what I believe to be a pretty accurate result. we will take each player and rank them in each category based on their numbers before their 23rd birthday. The player with the most combined points from all 7 categories is what at least I would consider to be the best 22-year-old basketball player ever. Now, for the sake of this experiment, we are not including seasons that players turn 23 in. So if a player started a season as a 22-year-old but soon after turned 23, we are not going to include those numbers. So with that being said, these are the players we will be assessing in our experiment. For the most part, some of the best players of all time.
Alright. Oh, this only motherfucker. This only draw I was looking for. Everybody else, nah. Moses Malone, they got a lot of members on here though. I ain't gonna lie. They actually got all the members on here. Where LeBron at?
Obviously, players that entered the league at a young age get a head start on their NBA journey. But that's the advantage you get when you're 18 years old and good enough to play in the NBA. But if you look over these players, you'll notice some all-time greats missing.
Chris Paul on here?
Bird, Wilt, Hakeem, Bill Russell, and a lot more.
Chris Paul on there? Yeah, he on there. All right.
Play in the NBA. But if you look over these players, you'll notice some all-time greats missing. Kareem, Bird, Wilt, Hakeem, Bill Russell.
Wilt, Chamberlain.
And that's because these guys don't even qualify for the title of best 22-year-old basketball player ever, due to the fact that they all turned 23 years old or older in their rookie season. So now
I'm a no belt rocking, no sock rocking.
For the first category, we have the combined total.
Okay, that's what we're doing. I bet.
Per game and rebounds per game from each player's best season before the age of 23. And right off the bat, Luka takes the lead with a total of 47 combined points, rebounds, and assists per game, which he set last season when he averaged 29, 9, and 9. LeBron came in second with 45, and Shaq came in third with 44.9. Next, we have All-Star appearances. And to my surprise, only these 12 players have multiple All-Star appearances before the age of 23. LeBron and Kobe are the only players to have 3 All-Star nods, and
D-Rose had 2.
Tied for second. If
he didn't get injured, he would have way more. We know that.
Only one player in NBA history has made an NBA All-Star team as a teenager, and that was Kobe. Now, this next category is interesting.
Get up.
Playoff win shares, which is a statistic that
D-Rose
shows
ain't know
the
that.
overall wins a player helped contribute in the playoffs. I chose playoff win shares as opposed to regular season win shares because the best players tend to rise up in the postseason when it matters most, while others tend to shrink in these bigger moments.
Giannis is down 2-0 and just got beat by 45. Or D-Rose is on her.
Which, if you're familiar with his postseason heroics early in his career, this doesn't surprise you. LeBron came in second with 5.4 playoff win shares before the age of 23, and Jason Tatum came in third with 4.4, the only player in his generation to crack this category. Next is the marquee performance category, which is just the best game from each player before their 23rd birthday. To measure the quality of each player's best game, I used the game score stat. If you're not familiar,
Luka might got this.
All the good things and all the bad things a player did in a game and gives that game a score. The higher the score, the better. And in this category, there is a very clear winner.
D-Book. Wet like I'm book. Bro, they was that. Wait, did I just see that right? What was this score I just seen?
There is a very clear winner.
Bro, they was down by a dub. Oh, this is the game when they came back. This is one of the biggest comebacks, right? They was down by 24. Clip. Come at clip. Bro, he came all the way back from that much.
Is Devin Booker, who at just 20 years old had one of the best games in NBA history. In second is Shaq, with a game score of 48.7, which came from a game in just his second season in the league, where he dropped 53 and 18 on 71% shooting. And in third is Karl Anthony Towns with a game score of 46 that came from a 56 and 15 performance in just his third NBA season. The next category is win shares per 48. Again, a stat that isn't widely referenced in mainstream basketball culture, but it should be, because it might just be the best statistic in terms of determining a player's value to winning. Simply put, this stat shows us how many wins a player contributes to their team each game. And in this category, Anthony Davis tops the chart, followed by Shaquille O'Neal, and a player that has faded into the background over the last few years, Amari Stoudemire. But if you watched a young Amari in the mid-2000s, you would know just how important he was to the success of the powerhouse that was the Phoenix Suns.
We know.
This next category really displays the star power of the best 22-year-olds to ever play, and that's MVP votes. And taking the top spot is the youngest MVP in league history.
There we go, Rose. We got us one.
One season.
There we go, Rose.
1,182 MVP votes. More than any of these players did in 2, 3, and in some cases, 4 seasons. In second is LeBron James with 975, and in third is Kevin Durant with 799. Keep in mind that although this season isn't over, Luka is projected to finish 8th in MVP votes, which we can assume is about 25, give or take. And the last but possibly most important category is leadership. We have seen a lot of young talented players in the NBA throughout the years, but what really separates the good ones from the great ones is their ability to rally the troops, to gain the trust of their team and staff and turn the franchise around. And there really is no definitive way of measuring the players' leadership qualities.
And
so
Chris
for
Paul.
this category, I took the liberty of just ranking them myself. It's not perfect, but it's my channel, and there's nothing you can do about it. So in first place is
Okay.
Magic Johnson.
Yup. Okay. Yup. I like to see it. I love to see it. I love to see it.
But it's my channel, and there's nothing you can do about it. So in first
Okay. D-Rose. That's all I want to see. Yup. For sure. I need to see D-Rose. You know what I'm saying? Where Kobe at, though? I mean, not Kobe. Where Chris Paul at?
First place is Magic Johnson.
Probably
who at
do now,
just
right?
20 years old, joined one of the most successful franchises in NBA history with a star-studded cast and still managed to come out as their leader on their way to a championship.
Relax, bro.
And second is LeBron, who dragged this ragtag bunch to the finals and had the entire city of Cleveland believing they were watching Jesus Christ in a basketball jersey. And in third is Luka, who has shown us all that with minimal help, he can guide a franchise to
Yeah, he don't have no help.
against all
That's why he lost first round.
in just his third NBA season, a feat reserved for only the most elite players to ever lace up. So now that we've discussed and ranked all 28 players across all 7 categories, who is the greatest 22-year-old NBA player of all time? Well, I've got a chart for that. Near the bottom, you've got the great, near all-time young talent.
Okay, D-Rose on top of a lot of people. That's all I need to see. You know?
McGrady, Dirk, Duncan.
Damn, Chris Paul all at the
and
bottom.
Then there's this gap
Carmelo
between
is
these
too.
17 players and the greatest
D-Rose
young
right
talent
here.
in league
Okay,
history.
cool.
Michael Jordan, Karl Anthony Towns.
Luka
cracks
at the-
the
Luka
top
right here.
10,
Where LeBron
along
at?
with Amari Stoudemire, Kobe, Anthony Davis,
Luka,
Derrick
Magic.
Rose.
Oh, I must
Go
be
a bit
LeBron,
higher,
right?
And you've got the kid that inspired this
KD,
entire
Shaq.
experiment, Luka Doncic. And right above him is the Mount Rushmore of
Yeah, it's
22-year-old
LeBron.
hoopers. Magic Johnson, Kevin Durant, Shaquille O'Neal, and LeBron James. Pretty much in a league of his own. This is what I consider to be the best 22-year-olds ever. Luka near the top, but not quite as incredible as a few others.
For sure.
Going into this, my prediction to come out on top was LeBron. Partially because I'm a LeBron stan, but mostly because if you watched a young LeBron James in his first 4 NBA seasons, you would understand why he's the best 22-year-old we've ever seen. As great as he still is after all these years, LeBron has really slowed down in the past few seasons.
Did he?
He's
He
less
got put out in the
airborne,
first round.
His defense is spotty at best sometimes. He tends to pick his spots a bit more methodically now than he used to, and he's dialed it down a few notches in an effort to preserve his
I mean,
health
he
and energy.
old.
But when this man was 22, he was like a 6'8", 240
Oh my
pound
God.
boy in a china shop. Fast, strong, explosive, and smart with an underrated shooter's touch. He was dominant on offense and pesky
Oh my
on
God, he
defense.
did have a lot of
Stretch
bunnies
there,
back
LeBron
then.
had his hands in so many aspects of the game night in and night out that if you gave him the starting 5 of your local high school basketball team and told him to make it work, you'd seriously consider the fact that he'd still make a playoff run. It has been a long time since we've seen a young LeBron James, but for those
It
who were
is.
there to witness
We
it
so used to
live,
the- we
you
so
know
used to the old
exactly why
LeBron.
he was getting GOAT talks the moment he entered the league. Look at this. This video is not sped up. He is too damn.
Yeah, he was fast.
In just 3 seasons,
He was
LeBron
fast.
took
You must forgot when that man used to run with his head down like these. Like the dude off of Get Out. He used to run with his head down. Get up. Look up. Backboard.
the Cavaliers from the worst team.
Man
in the
used to
league
run with his head
17
down.
wins to a
Like off the dude off of Get Out.
championship contender, and in just 4 seasons, he took them to the finals. Sweeping the Wizards with prime Gilbert Arenas and Antoine Jamison, beating the Nets in 6 with prime Vince Carter and Jason Kidd, and beating a loaded Pistons squad in 6. By the time he was 20, he already made All-NBA second team, which means
Hey.
LeBron was virtually a top 10 player in the NBA before he could legally drink. Combine that with his star power and his crazy numbers,
Cut.
we've got the greatest young hooper the game has ever seen. And if we take a look at our top 10, there's a few things worth noting.
Yeah, D-Rose
Luka
6? Okay.
finished in fifth,
I could take that.
which is about where I expected him to finish.
I mean, but if we were to think about it, though, LeBron did come to lead at the age of, what, 16, 17, 18? One of them ages. He was young.
Luka has been so far in his
So, I mean, it's
career,
cool, though.
the
I'm not
four
making
players that
excuses.
finished above him
D-Rose
were
still
slightly
on, though.
better at 22 years old. Shaq, who to my surprise finished in second, was putting up 29, 13, and 3 in just his second
Bro,
NBA
Shaq was
season
babying
and
people.
finished
Throwing balls at him,
in
disrespectful.
MVP voting in his second NBA season. Kevin Durant finished in third, and again, if you saw a young Durant play, you'd understand why he came out slightly ahead of Luka. People tend to forget that Durant was only 18 years old when he was drafted, and by the time he was 22, he already had 2 scoring titles, was runner-up in the MVP race, and made it to the conference finals. And at just 21 years old, Kevin Durant already made first-team All-NBA. Then there's Magic Johnson at 4th, who led the Lakers to not 1, but 2 NBA championships by the time he was 22. Averaging
Yeah, Magic, you could be like that.
double in the playoffs, which is an accomplishment that is almost impossible to even imagine in today's NBA. Just think about, by the end of this postseason, Luka already had 2 rings, which leaves Luka at 5th. He's already made first-team All-NBA, he has the most absurd stat lines of anyone on this list, and he already has a handful of Hardwood Classic playoff performances.
Damn.
He isn't quite the best we've ever
Come
seen
on.
at this age, but he is certainly amongst the most elite company a player could be a part of. Spots 6th through 10th also feature some all-time great players. Derrick Rose finished in 6th,
Martell.
which just
I mean,
solidifies
what's his
his
name?
title as the NBA's greatest
forgot.
what-if story. The youngest MVP in league history. The great Kobe Bryant is a no-brainer on this list.
Duh.
At 22, already made 3 All-Star teams
Bean.
and was the ultimate
R.I.P.
closer
Kobe,
on
man.
arguably the best team in NBA history.
Bean.
Amari Stoudemire finished in 9th, and just like Derrick Rose, Amari is among the NBA's greatest what-ifs. All NBA talent by the time he was 22.
Dang,
and was
boy,
on a
don't break your
trajectory to
arm.
become the league's best big man before injuries took his career hostage. And rounding out our top 10 is Karl Anthony Towns, who hasn't been notably great recently.
Yeah.
But also hasn't had
I ain't heard nothing
injuries
about.
like
I ain't heard
Rose
nothing
and
about Cat in a
Well,
minute.
just a few years ago, Towns had
Probably
the
the team he
entire
on.
NBA convinced
Come to
he
the
was
Bulls.
the next in line as
We
the
need
league's
you,
best
Lowry.
player.
Luka. I mean, yeah, Lowry ain't been on the crumb. We need you.
In
Come to the Bulls,
2017,
Cat.
the NBA
We'll
asked
treat you right.
teams around the league that
We
if
at least
given
gonna
a
get to the
chance,
second
who would
round,
they choose
for
to
sure.
rebuild their team around?
We at least get to the
19%
second
of
round.
GMs said LeBron, 21% said Giannis, and as the overwhelming favorite, 29% of GMs said they would build their team around a 21-year-old Karl Anthony Towns. Those same GMs also voted him as the league's best center. So I'd say he fits in well in this top 10. So I guess that answers the question. Is Luka Doncic the greatest 22-year-old basketball player to ever play the game? Probably not. But top 5 ain't bad at all, especially when the 4 guys ahead of you are LeBron, Shaq, Durant, and Magic.
For sure.
Luka has a shot to be one of the greatest players of all time. He's quickly checking off all the "this guy might be one of the best we've ever seen" boxes. And he's just getting started. What do y'all think of this top 10 list? What changes would you make?
No changes, because I see D-Rose on there. Aha.
Agree?
That's
Disagree?
it.
Let me know in the comments below. And as always, until
Clip.
next time.
That's in the video, man. Y'all be smooth easy, man. Oh my God. Y'all be smooth easy, man. Keep your head up, man. I love y'all.